Going into the Giants Week 3 matchup against the Chiefs, I think that Cor'Dale Flott has earned the CB2 job opposite of Paulson Adebo. Not only has he been solid in coverage in 2 weeks of football, he's also shown up in the run game as well. Check this out. In his second start of the season, he earned a PFF grade of 85.2, and he was actually one of the highest graded Giants in the loss against the Cowboys. He only gave up 2 catches on 3 targets for 16 yards, and he forced 2 incomplete passes. So here's a couple plays from the Cowboys game that he put on tape, and I think that's what locked up the CB2 job for good in this week's Blue Rush Film Breakdown. All right, y'all. So I just got out of Giants practice. I was in the locker room after the game, and I spoke to this guy right here, Cor'Dale Flott. Told him about the plays that I was going to be breaking down, and he kind of gave me a couple little nuggets on what he saw and what he was thinking on these plays. So here on this 3rd and short, he gets this pass breakup or forces this incompletion. Let's go back and talk to you guys. Let's break it down from what he told me. Basically, he told me, I asked him, what was he thinking? What did he see? Because you got the tight end running some sort of flat. You got the flat route by the tight end. You've got CeeDee Lamb, receiver number one to this side, running some sort of pick route on this defender here who's man-to-man with the tight end. Asked Cordell, what did he see on that? Were you in zone? What was going on? He said, no, we were in man-to-man, and he called it a football IQ play, meaning he read through it. So Dak has the RPO here. He's got CeeDee Lamb man-to-man. CeeDee runs this little stop route or the spot route, S-P-O-T, spot route to try and pick this defender who's man-to-man against the tight end. And he wants them to go up and around. Go around because that buys this tight end some space for the yardage. Just think, it's 3rd and short. It's a RPO. The Giants did a great job playing the run part of it, forces Dak to pull it and make a quick throw. And all Cordell told me was he just read through CeeDee Lamb, saw what he was trying to do, identified the concept, came off of his man, and made a play on the tight end. Football IQ. Shane Bourne wants smart football players in his defense, and this was a heck of a play for the Giants defense to get off the field. Great job by Cor'Dale Flott getting there, but not getting there too early. The Giants were hit hard, hit heavy with pass interference penalties this game, so great job by him. Again, you see the man-to-man concept, man here, pause it. They kind of bump into each other. He reads it. You see Abdul Carter getting the pressure, forcing Dak to get the ball out of his hands a little bit fast. Cor'Dale Flott goes, makes the play. Giants defense gets off of the field. Big play. You could even see Tyler Newman right here kind of pointing to him because that's a heads-up football play on 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. Giants defense early in the game was getting off the field. Let's go on to the next play because it's the same thing. I asked him about this. George Pickens, he's one-on-one up top with George Pickens. And earlier during the week, if you guys watch our Blue Rush show, our pregame preview, I was in the locker room last week and I interviewed him and I kind of tried to get a little, not so much a baity question, but just something I thought was going to go viral. And I asked him, 4th and goal, you got man-to-man coverage, Cowboys break the huddle. Who do you want to see come to that side? CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens? And he basically said it was like a no comment, I don't care type question because he wasn't going to buy into it. But right now you've got George Pickens running this sluggo. And for those of you who don't know, slant and go. He's playing off man. All the Cowboys want is for him to bite so they can get him. And Dak's going to throw that ball up here so George can either run under it or he can go up and make a play for this football. But you call this to a playmaker. You call this to get one of your playmakers the football. You see him in that man technique, not bite, turn around, and make the play. I kind of had the arrow in the way, so let's bring this back. Ask him about it. Man technique. Again, he said football IQ. Now, if they would have run the slant or they would have ran the under, which they were running slants all throughout the game. They ran, I think George Pickens, I believe I charted him at least at about 3 to 5 plus slants, somewhere around that number. But you see him here. Cor'Dale Flott is playing that inside man technique. No point of him being outside because they're man across the board. He has no help to the inside. So you see him in that inside technique. He has inside leverage, trying to take away any in-breaking route, slant, under, anything, any in-breaking route. So he's inside, about a yard inside on George Pickens. And it's another second and third and short type situation. So if you're the Cowboys, you're going to try and take a shot here. You want to take a shot towards the end zone. But great job by Cor'Dale Flott, not biting the cheese, not buying the eyes. One thing as receiver, we talk about giving the eyes. The eyes, they don't lie. It's like from the movie Scarface. The eyes, Chico, they never lie. And that's what we receivers try and do. We try and give some eyes to sell that route. We're trying to sell the slant part of it. You're inside man. You have to take away or try to honor that slant. But he said, Cordell said, football IQ. He sat on it, didn't bite, and then you see him reset. You know exactly what's coming at this point. So now he's over the top of George Pickens. And one thing I love what he does here, you see him man turn. So if it was a zone turn, he would have turned back with his eyes towards Dak. It's a man turn, so he turned towards the receiver because it's man to man. He's running with the receivers. But here, the ball is in the air somewhere around here. I kind of lost it. Here's where a lot of defenders get in trouble. But Cor'Dale Flott, he did a good job of. You see him turn around and try and locate the football. A lot of defenders do not turn around and locate the football. That would have been a DPI, defensive pass interference, spot foul. They would put the ball at the 1 yard line. Instead, turns around and he goes to make a play on the football. I asked him, I was like, bro, you identified that you should have had a pick here. He told me Pickens kind of grabbed his arm, grabbed him down, kind of prevented him. So if that's the case, then great job by George Pickens, one receiver to another receiver. We're taught that if we don't catch it, nobody catches it. So George Pickens kind of prevents the interception, but you can see Cor'Dale Flott's eyes turn back to the football, locate the football, and he's even trying to make a play on it, but he kind of gets pulled down here. Great play. Football IQ, like he said, you see Javon Holland, hyped that his boy made the play. He's got the strapped up, put his arms around each other. You got some Cowboys fans watching, waiting to talk some trash, whatever. Big play right there by Cor'Dale Flott. Last but not least, we talk about the Giants corners having to show up in the run game. Last year, I think some of the Giants corners graded out the worst when it came to missed tackles and stopping the run. But here, again, here's Cor'Dale Flott up here. You'll see him play his assignment and within pass coverage, step up, rally, and make a tackle on Miles Sanders, who a couple of years ago was one of the top running backs in the NFL when he was with the Eagles. So we'll watch the play, we'll bring it back, and then we'll break it down even more. This one, he just told me, hey, he had to go throw that body in there to make a tackle. So you see Giants are in some sort of cover 4 looking concept, or maybe even a soft cover 2 shell. Paulson Adebo has no threat, no work here, so he's kind of in a slow skate. You see Cor'Dale Flott right here playing over top of, I believe that's George Pickens playing over top of his man. But here, now you see because of the pressure off the edge, Dak Prescott is forced to throw this ball early, get the ball to the running back. And here, what you see, and you kind of saw this all game, you saw when Dak checked down to the running backs, or even a couple of times he threw it down, checked down to some of the tight ends that were in this flat area. There was a lot of space for a catch and run. The Giants were playing over the top in some sort of shell coverage. Obviously, when you got George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, you want to play over the top. But imagine right here, Miles Sanders catches the ball right here at the 25. Cor'Dale Flott is about at the 40, the 39-40. So that's 15 yards of space with a guy who's a former Pro Bowler whose job it is to make a DB miss. You've got DB, Dane Belton, right here. You've got Javon Holland. You've got Cor'Dale Flott. So you got 3 of these DBs on a running back, and you got Abdul Carter in a chase position pursuing the football. One thing Cordell does here is you see drills where two defenders work on boxing the ball carrier. Because one thing Cor'Dale Flott doesn't want is to be outflanked. For Miles Sanders to give him a little stutter step and hitting the sideline. There's nobody here. There's nothing but space here for him to turn this thing up and get this first down. But if you can either force it to the inside, you've got your help. The help is to the inside. Or you just got to make that play and get him down. So we talk about the corner, how the Giants corners needed to tackle better in 2025. Cor'Dale Flott comes up, maybe loses that contain a little bit, because again, your pursuit is right here. You got bodies ready to take this dude's head off, but he does a great job of maybe not forcing it back to the inside, but the reach and wrap. Grabs, reaches with his left and wraps with the right. Brings Miles Sanders down, and now Dane Belton gets in on the tackle. So from a technique point of view, obviously you would want him to cut back in, make you miss. Even if he made a miss, you would want him to make him miss to the inside. And that's why we tell ball carriers all the time, don't spin back to the inside, because that's where the pursuit is coming from. But Cordell doesn't force him to go inside, but he has a reach and wrap technique. Reach, wrap. Holds on, gets him down. And now that sets up a third and somewhat long. So, all right, so let's go back to it one more time, and I'll close out here. So again, Shane Bowen was smart defensive backs on the field, and that's not saying Deonte Banks isn't or anything, but in the course of this, one, the camp battle, two, obviously the Cor'Dale Flott getting the last two starts, they see something in him. They like his football IQ. They like the fact that he's able to rally up and make a tackle. He had another tackle on Jake Ferguson on the sideline within the 2-minute drill that forced the clock to continue to run. So it looks like Cor'Dale Flott is very comfortable in this Shane Bowen defense, year 2 in this Shane Bowen defense. And that's why I feel like he should be the one that gets the start for the Chiefs game. Now, all he has to do, I feel as though, is get some sort of interception. Whoever forces a turnover, then I feel as like if you're forcing turnovers, that's your job. You've locked that job down. But for the right now, going into week 3, I think Cor'Dale Flott has put enough plays on tape to continue to be the CB2 for this Giants defense.